Alright, what up everybody? Captain Pretzel here. Gonna do another analysis today. This one for rrob, another member of the Kirby Discord. And we've got two games to analyze. I believe one is Kirby Falco and the other is Falco Yoshi. I also think one is a bracket match and one's not, though I'm not sure which is which. So hopefully it doesn't matter too much. We'll just go ahead and analyze them both as if they're bracket matches, and just try to see if we can see anything of interest. So we're going to start with the Kirby Falco one, and let's just get right into it. Okay, so immediately Falco goes in for an instant dair. A lot of Falcos, I should pause there. A lot of Falcos just like to go in for, instant pressure to overwhelm Kirby right from the beginning, and this looks like it's one of those playstyles of Falcos. Already that tells me a lot that this Falco probably has a much more aggressive playstyle as opposed to the more passive Falcos who are more content to shoot a few lasers and stand back and hit and run. This seems like a much more aggressive Falco right off the bat, which is, in my opinion, a lot easier for Kirby to deal with. Not easy by any means, but easier than the campier types of Falcos. But yeah, right off, rrob gets hit a bit, and Falco gets a bit of free damage right at the very beginning there. Ooh. Alright, well, I wasn't expecting that turn so soon, but alright. So Falco goes off, tries to dair Kirby. His dair hitbox doesn't quite come up before Kirby clips him with fair. Randall interrupts Falco's movement, and he gets tripped off, burns an up in panic, and then gets daired for a very quick stock there. So very nice recognition by rrob. A little bit of shine pressure, short hop, full hop and platform shooting lasers. I actually really don't like that option from Falco. It doesn't really accomplish anything. Kirby is not going to really get hit by lasers at that height, and even if he does, it's not going to let Falco get anything. Falco's much better off staying on the ground and trying to mix up full hop lasers from the ground, or just trying to wall Kirby out with back airs from ledge and fishing for a dair. So, weird option by the Falco. Falco also backs off and tries to give Kirby a bair. rrob goes in for fair. Grab, down throw, let's see if he techs, he does. Goes for a turnaround jab reset, and then instant dtilts, just, so I actually kind of like that interaction. We'll, watch it again really quick. So grab, down throw, sees that Falco techs behind him, assumes that he's gonna miss the tech, goes for a turnaround jab, has the recognition to, or realizes that Falco in fact hit the tech, but he's still teched in place, so immediately goes for jab down tilt, which a lot of Falcos aren't prepared to deal with immediately. So good play there. It's knocked down with forward air. Falco does Falco things, and Falco kills off the top with up air. That's pretty standard fare for Yoshi's against Falco in this matchup, honestly. If you don't get up aired or shined off the top before 50%, generally the Falco just isn't trying hard enough. No, but for real though, Falco, it's not free by any means, but Falco has a lot of ways to get you into annoying positions, and as soon as you're above that top platform, you should be panicking and hard DIing and SDIing away, and just generally trying to get your feet back on the ground. Because from there, it's just a simple shine, double jump, shine, and Kirby's dead off the top. A couple smashes on the platforms, I'm assuming he's trying to platform drop or shield drop. Great air dodge, a little bit iffy on the recovery, but he makes it work. See Falco tech in once, see if he does that again, we'll get into that if he does. So actually play that. So shine, dair, trying to create some space with fair, just basically getting shine pressured by Falco, kind of an inevitable with Kirby. Accidental dash attack, I'm assuming, lands a fair. Falco gives Kirby a little too much respect there, tries to place a dair, rrob actually spaced really well there and just barely makes it back. The way he grabs ledge is a little bit unsafe, I would say, so right about here. He goes for a fair, and then he just jumps straight to ledge. Now, if Falco had just aimed his dair a little bit farther over, that would have been a dead Kirby unless he was super prepared to attack. Falco also could have empty landed and down smash there and probably clipped Kirby before he had a chance. You can see Kirby just kind of pops his head above the ledge there. From this position, I would stay a little bit farther away from the ledge if I tried to grab it at all, and I would probably up B just under ledge to try to clip Falco for getting too close to the ledge. A lot of Falcos like to go for this exact dair that Falco went for right there, and up B from a little farther away from the ledge would have hit him coming up. It would have likely hit him coming down, and best case, Falco completely misses the tech, but even if he hits the tech, Falco's only safe option is to tech away on the platform, and it basically just gives Kirby a free opportunity to get back to stage. But nonetheless, the Falco doesn't punish it, and he gets a free forward air from ledge. Like the approaching fair, A little bit of a tournament winner, which you never want to see with Kirby, but it's kind of hard to avoid sometimes. Rolling around, trying to get around Falco's pressure options. Falco doesn't necessarily have the strongest pressure, but it's also not terrible by any means, and yeah, again, kind of the situation I was referencing earlier. rrob goes for a cutter and tries to hug the wall as hard as possible. That works on pretty much every character other than Falco and Marth. It can work on Falco and Marth if you're prepared to hard DI, or not even necessarily SDI, but just DI the dair into the wall. But even then, Falco's dair can actually hit at two different angles, one that hits towards, one that hits away from the stage, and if Falco just hits you with a dair that hits away from the stage, you're just gonna die almost every time, unless you're got really on-point SDI. So I would have liked to see up B started / drifted a little bit away from the stage and only drift in during the descension portion, or probably could have lived this. But can't fault him too much. Falco's kind of me at the ledge, and that's just going to happen no matter how careful you are once in a while. So he gets the F-tilt for a knockdown. Falco slides off the ledge. Dair grab by Falco. A little bit of a descending fair. I don't necessarily... let's look actually watch that again. Yeah, I'm not sure what rrob was aiming for here. It may have been a missed input, or it may have just been calling out Falco double jumping to the platform, but in general, bair and dair would have both been better options here since Falco was on the other side. I would have liked to see a descending bair since Falco's own bair hitbox is lower, and Kirby's bair would have beat it from that angle. Dair probably would have traded, but if he had spaced it and drifted it pretty well, he could have kind of sucked Falco down to the ground and possibly gotten L-canceled dair into up tilt or dsmash follow-up, depending on what he wanted to hit. But anyway, he gets baired. Lots of bairs from the Falco. Lots of bairs from the Falco. It's like 6 in a row. Oh my goodness. Another accidental forward air, or forward smash. Rewind a bit there, actually. So Falco goes for a very greedy dair there. He gets a power shield grab, which is really nice against Falco's dair. You can't rely on those power shields necessarily, but if you can get them, grabbing Falco out of his dair and annoying him is a great option. I think he goes for a back throw here. He waited a little bit long. Falco could have mashed out if you hold him for that long in the back throw, but the Falco clearly wasn't mashing, and so he gets a tech chase situation here. Calls out the tech in with a bair, very nice. Ooh, he actually, that's just really unfortunate. So rrob calls out the shorten, but still just barely misses and lets Falco back to the stage. Now, if Falco really had presence of mind there, he could either dair bair Kirby, or, sorry, shine bair Kirby, or he could just straight up dair Kirby and probably die here, but most Falcos aren't prepared to cover that, and rrob does get the DI / SDI on stage. Tries to beat Falco's dair with up air, which just isn't going to work 99% of the time. Let's see. Bair's the shy guy. Falco tries to get tricky with his movement. He does clip him with the shine. Really iffy rock there. So rock is kind of good for coming down against the space animals and Marth and a lot of characters in a lot of situations, but as it stands, you almost never want to touch down either on a platform or on the ground with rock, because that's just asking for a free punish. The safety comes from mixing up the timing from which you break out of the rock, forcing your opponent to react very quickly or outright read where you're recovering. But since he hits the ground here, he ends up in a very predictable position after breaking out of the rock, letting Falco get a free bair here. And really nice shield bair by the Falco. But, let's see. So we get a little bit of shield pressure. Fair from ledge. I really like the F-tilt there. So kind of an underrated option for Kirby is his F-tilt. Everybody knows that his up-tilt's a pretty decent move, and his down-tilt's infamous for low profiling. But F-tilt, of all things, is really good for catching these kinds of mistechs and techs in place like this Falco does here, where Falco doesn't necessarily have time to react to anything Kirby's doing, or doesn't really have time to get out a dair or and he can shine, but the hitbox is bad enough where Kirby's F-tilt will usually beat it anyway. And F-tilt does set up a knockdown situation. So all that's really good by rrob. Falco gets the slide off on the side you can ledge, so good on him. Again, rrob calls out the Falco's recovery with bair and gets a kill for it, so very nice. Goes for a little bit of cheese, or no, maybe not. So that's actually something I like to do with Kirby as well, and I don't see enough Kirby's doing, is kind of using an inhale, and if you get the cheese, great, but the primary purpose is not to cheese the opponent, but to provide yourself a relatively safe means of getting back to ledge, which rrob does exactly this. He cancels the inhale right next to ledge so he can grab it. So if the Falco is really good at spacing their bair, Falco's bair can actually beat out Kirby's inhale from the right angle, like if he hits the bair just under Kirby, under the hitbox. The Falco either didn't space well enough for that or just didn't know that at all, but as it stands, if the Falco has proven incapable of punishing that, it's a really good option for Kirby getting back down to ledge. So Falco makes a very tragic mistake of trying to just put shine pressure on Kirby. Fox can do something similar, but because of the angle his shine hits at and the relatively fast jump squad he has, and the... Well, it's really mostly just like his faster jumps and the angle his shine sends at. But Fox is a lot better at doing this thing that this Falco's trying to do, just because of the nature of Falco's shine and how he has to kind of commit to it. This is already very dangerous for Falco, which combined with his recovery, or his poor recovery compared to Fox, basically ends up a lot of situations like this, where Falcon can keep going in, but if his jump or shine timing gets called out a single time, he is in huge danger. You can see Falco double jumps like almost immediately, gets bair right after his double jump. So unfortunately, he's again in a situation where he's below the stage, forced to burn his up B, and again, Falco should be dead almost 100% of the time in this situation. There's a lot of different mix-ups Kirby can play here, and Falco kind of has to commit to covering one. So here, Kirby can either wave dash slightly back and down smash, he can turn around and down tilt, he can go for a dair, he can go for a drop zone bair, he can grab ledge and do a weak bair. He has so many options just to kill Falco. If you really wanted to be cheeky, you can even go for a stone. Now, a lot of these can be either teched or DI to the point where Falco can still recover, but Falco has to correctly guess which of Kirby's numerous options will actually work out. So rrob just goes for a dair and clips Falco enough times and messes up the meteor cancel timing to get a free kill. So very nice by rrob. Retreats to Randall, goes for a cheeky inhale kill. That might actually work. No. Okay, Falco stays just out of range. Gets a nice fair from ledge, another fair. Falco's trying to get some dair pressure. Rolls to ledge again. Falco's not... Ooh, that's a really good grab, actually. Was that a jump cancel grab? I didn't actually see. It was. Okay, very nice jump cancel grab. I think a running grab would have been a little too slow, and trying to position yourself for a standing shield grab or something like that would have also been too slow. So, very nice. Goes for a down throw. Misses the tech this time. Takes the Falco lasers. Up air tech chase on the platform. Shoots some lasers to roll Falco out. Oof. Okay. So, really like that. Kind of keeps Falco from covering high. Does a walk-off turn-around bair to catch Falco slipping. Shoots out some lasers, forcing Falco to either burn a side B recovery at a very predictable height, or drop down a bit and burn his up B at a very reactable timing. So, altogether, these lasers are just really good. Falco goes for the side B. Ooh, he gets clipped there, unfortunately, and then almost survives. I do not like that rock at all. That's just asking for Falco to pretty much kill you from that position. Again, if this Falco had a little more awareness, he could have probably just shined there, double jumped, and shined again, and Kirby would have died off the top. The Falco, fortunately for rrob, makes a little bit of a poor decision there. And we have another release of life. Wave dash back throw off the stage, DI mix up, and Falco dips just a little too low to side B, recognizes this, tries to burn his up B as a last resort. rrob gets the dair, and that's a GG. Alright, so overall, that was a very good game by rrob. Very nice 3-stock comeback on his part. Like with a lot of opponents, the Falco clearly had a little bit of matchup inexperience, and also the Falco's pressure wasn't quite as good as it can be on Kirby. He also neglected to take a couple opportunities to just kind of gimp and cheese Kirby off the top, though I guess he did get that up air at the very beginning. But that's not at all to take away from rrob's play here. Falco is one of Kirby's harder matchups, in my opinion. It's at least one that I personally struggle with, one of the most. And pulling off a 3-stock comeback, nothing short of amazing. He does get a couple cheese kills, which, you know, that's fine. I call it cheese. It's really just mostly gimping. This is altogether mostly very honest play. There wasn't any Kirby sides or inhale sides. They were just straight up gimps, and the Falco just kind of got outplayed. And, you know, rrob kind of kept his cool. His tech chasing was on point. Really liked the use of jump cancel grabs. Did mostly safe aerials. His recovery was a little iffy at times, but he made it work. His edge guarding, really on point. Liked his follow-ups. Liked his tech chasing on platforms. So, yeah, overall, very solid play. We'll go ahead and move on to the next game for now. I'll try to give some summarizing thoughts after I watch that and try to identify, you know, the overall strengths and weaknesses of rrob's gameplay and maybe what he can work on. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next video for now. So this one is rrob versus a Yoshi player. I believe it's Mono, who is a very good Yoshi player, incidentally. So this should be an interesting matchup. Yoshi, I think, is... I don't actually know how the matchup is for Kirby. I don't really concern myself too much with matchup charts or stuff like that these days. But personally, I find Yoshi's to be about an average difficulty of opponent. They're probably in the dead smack in the middle of opponents I struggle with versus opponents I do well against. So in general, this can be a very interesting matchup. We'll see what happens. So already the Yoshi's trying to shrew a bit. Retaliates almost instantly with fair and up air. The thing about Yoshi in this matchup is Yoshi does not want to really be in shield any more than he absolutely has to be. The times that you'll see Yoshi on shield the most is when Yoshi is on platforms, and he's often just trying to bait out an attack by Kirby and just parry those, so we'll see if Mono goes for that. We'll go ahead and rewind a little bit, because I kind of didn't comment here. So he goes for a little bit of a cheese kill, that's fine. Gets a down air, roll in, up tilt, trade aerials, a little bit of a shield drop, up air, back throw, calls out Yoshi's double jump, aerial, almost gets the kill for it, but Yoshi is just about to recover it. Oh, there's one of the parries that we're talking about. Back throw again, Yoshi recovers high. So a lot of edge guarding Yoshi in this matchup is being able to call out his recovery, knowing what your options for breaking his double jump armor are, and basically trying to bait out aerials from Yoshi and space your own aerials such that you can clip him past, or after he throws out his aerial, but not letting that aerial trade with you, and then hit him out of his wow, I am not articulating that well at all. Let's start over there. The trick to edge guarding Yoshi is to bait out aerials after he's burned his double jump so that you can get past his double jump armor, and from there it's usually a straightforward matter of either hogging edge or waiting out Yoshi's inevitable air dodge if he's close to the stage, and then punching that with a meaty aerial, usually either a back air or an up air to hit him back off stage, and there Yoshi should be dead every time. That said, really good Yoshis, like I'm assuming Mono is, are going to try to save their double jump armor and make it as unpredictable as possible, and Kirby only has a couple of tools to break double jump armor. His best tool by far is up air, which I believe breaks it starting around 55% fresh. If you're staling it, it's probably more around 60, and then back air doesn't break it until around 70 or 80. So you have to get considerable amount of damage on Yoshi before you can start to break his armor reliably. That's a bit of a tangent. We'll go ahead and let the match play out for now. So Yoshi chucks some eggs. Very good rock. Ooh, very, very good rock into up air conversion. So Yoshi does try to go out there and clip Kirby's recovery. Once Yoshi's committed to that, he kind of... Yoshi can turn around with his double jump unlike a lot of characters, but it still takes him a little bit to get out of the way because of the little dip Yoshi does. So rrob is able to clip him with a rock. And it looks like Yoshi double jump armor through that. Yeah, so you can see here that Yoshi's double jump armor was actually broken by rock. So rock does break double jump armor even earlier than up air. I didn't mention it before because it's just not a reliable move to hit with. But if you can hit with it, because it breaks the double jump armor, it doesn't have its usual knockback. So you can see Yoshi goes almost absolutely nowhere. Mono clearly wasn't expecting that. And rrob, oh, this was such a good play. I just want to watch it one more time. So chucks out an egg, goes for rrob. Double jumps out of the way as soon as he sees the rock coming, can't get out of the way, breaks the double jump armor, rrob cancels his rock timing above ground, Yoshi expects him to continue at the trajectory he was, so he throws out a down smash, he whiffs, and then rrob up airs over the down smash. So, just really, really good play there overall by rrob, really like to see it, and he gets a kill for it. Late shield on platform to get down. I'm not a huge late shield user, I probably should be, so I don't really know the intricacies of how Kirby fares with the late shield, but that seems like a pretty good option to me. I do think Nair's an underrated move. I don't know if I agree with using it against Yoshi, since Yoshi can basically just crouch cancel and punish that with a very meaty move like down smash. But he doesn't get punished for it too bad. Again, you can see Mono going for the parry into, what did he try to do? So rrob goes for the up air, he goes for the parry, he doesn't quite get it, he just gets a hit shield, but he still goes for a shield drop nair, which rrob's able to shield in time. So this is what you should be doing if Yoshi is sitting on platform in his shield trying to parry things. You should just double jump or just regular single jump, depending on the platform, and suck him. It's really good. I want to see... Okay, he chooses to take the copy. The copy isn't great for Kirby. Tries to go for some cheeky stuff. I usually just spit Yoshi out for the damage, because it usually also puts him off stage. And then you can go for a tech chase follow-up with another inhale, and then hopefully get a suicide kill from that. But even so, not the end of the world if he doesn't. Very nice up air by rrob. Yoshi should not be able to live that to be this whole sledge, and he doesn't. So very nice. rrob realizing that that copy is not very... Alright then. So rrob not trying to BM there. I'm assuming he just realizes that the Yoshi copy isn't very good and tries to get rid of it for a suicide kill. And he does exactly that. So a little bit of a lesser known fact that I don't see a lot of Kirby's doing, I'm assuming rrob knows this and did this intentionally. If you roll to the ledge with Kirby and then jump straight up and use your inhale, Kirby will not land back on the stage. He will fall past the stage. So it's a very easy way to set up an aerial inhale as close to the stage as possible. So, and you can see Yoshi just barely got clipped in the nose with that inhale and got sucked straight through the stage. So, another lesser-known fact, and why I like the setup in particular myself, is even at 0%, if Kirby starts an aerial inhale, or starts an inhale in the air, despite it having a smaller hitbox, if he can manage to actually get the vacuum to connect with the opponent while he is descending, even at 0%, opponents generally do not have time to mash out, even if they have, like, task-level mashing. So they will be very close to the blast zone even if they're mashing optimally. And most characters, Yoshi obviously being one of them, just don't have the recovery to make it back to the stage, and Kirby just gets a free recovery. So it's a win-win all around. You get a maximum range aerial inhale, you get a good Kirby side setup, and you minimize the chance that the opponent recovers from said Kirby side while maximizing your own chances of living. So, really good, really hilarious play overall. Yoshi finally gets into tangible fair off the Endo platform and seals out the first stock. Fair. So, I don't think Mono was expecting a single hit move there. He actually gets the power shield / parry, but because fair's a multi-hit move, Mono ends up getting clipped by it anyway. I keep calling him Mono. I'm pretty sure it's Mono, but I should just be saying the Yoshi. So the Yoshi gets clipped. Up air after he burns an aerial during his double jump, so he gets some knockback. Armors for the fair. A little bit of a roll. Bairs Yoshi off stage. Up tilts on the platform. Yoshi just kind of hides the shield. So another thing that you can explain about Yoshi's a lot that I've noticed myself that rrob's taking great advantage of here is once a Yoshi is committed to using a shield on a platform, they are going to sit into that shield until you do something to them. So that's kind of a hilarious interaction. I'm actually surprised that last up tilt hit. I'm assuming Mono or the Yoshi just broke out of the shield and then Yoshi's hitbox was, or the platform was low enough for up tilt to connect. Gets an up air right as he double jump over through it, so he doesn't go anywhere. And I'm assuming the Yoshi just LRA starts at that point, and that's a GG's. So again, very solid play from rrob here. I wanted to comment a little bit more on defensive play against Yoshi, but rrob just kind of didn't give the poor little guy a chance to get anything started on offense, so I don't really get to comment on that very much. Overall, I really like how he played the matchup. I think it's pretty safe to say that rrob probably plays that matchup even better than I do, so it'd be a little disingenuous to give matchup-specific advice for that. So just to kind of go over some general trends I've noticed about rrob's play. Overall, very competent Kirby. Very good at tech chasing, hitting his shield drops, his jump canceled grabs, all the things that you need to get the most out of Kirby's tool set for the most part. Generally pretty good at edge guarding. Like a lot of Kirby's, I think one of his weaker points is recovery. I don't see him burning a lot of aerials between double jumps to extend his recovery. He burns up B a little bit too close to the stage for what's good for Kirby a lot of the time, and I don't think he hit a single wall tech in either any of these sets, mostly because he didn't even have the opportunity to do so, but the few times he possibly could have gotten a wall tech, he didn't, and whether that's due to just not getting the tech timing or improper spacing, I don't know. I'm going to assume it's a little bit of both. So, kind of like I said for Sanjini in my last video, you kind of want to work on making sure that you do aerials in between your jumps to kind of maximize Kirby's recovery, and then space your up B such that you either hit your opponent with the upward hitbox, the downward hitbox, or both, and also kind of make sure you drift it in a way so that you stay safe from moves like Falco's dair, Yoshi's down smash while you're recovering. Other than his recovery, I think the other area that could use possibly a little more work is the pressure. I think against both, this is more relevant to the Falco. It's really hard to pressure Yoshi because of his double jump armor options, but especially against Falco, once you get a solid hit on his shield, especially if you're using safe aerials, you can kind of use mix-ups to maintain pressure on Falco. So for instance, if you land a frame positive, a bair that's positive on Falco's shield, I think a perfect bair is like +1 on shield, you should be able to mix up between up tilt, F tilt, turnaround grab, nair in place, or dair in place for just various timing and spacing and hitbox mix-ups on Falco's shield, and that can very often scare Falco into sitting in shield or making hasty decisions out of shield, which can get you a little more mileage. Trying to think of if there's anything else. Like, overall, I was, I didn't really see a lot of holes in rrob's play. I think, man, I'm trying to just think of anything else to say without repeating what I've already said. I might just be out of things to say. The Yoshi set was kind of a curb stomp, so I didn't really have as much to commentate on there. And then Falco, again, Falco was doing Falco things, but rrob was making up for it with his quick thinking and his edge guards. Yeah, overall, he's just doing a lot of stuff right, I think. And I guess I don't really have any other comments for now. So, man, I feel like I should have something more insightful to say after all that. I'm sorry, rrob. But anyway, yeah, that's about all I have for now. Hope you guys found this helpful, and rrob, hope you found this helpful. Alright, see y'all.